Labels. They're terrible for those of us who can't handle commitment, but vital for those of us who can't understand art. I'm going to present to you a real object from the museum's collection. 2 of our players have been given a label for it, but no one knows which is true and which one is made up. Our other 2 players have to decide which is the correct label. Are we ready for our first object?
Mm-hmm.
Brett, let's put this microscope under the microscope.
Let's. This is Marr Dunnell's microscope, 1835. It was a great year. The microscope belongs to Hobart's second mayor, Robinson Dunnell. He brought this microscope using municipal funds. I do not know what that word means, but it sounds pretty cool.
It means council funds.
Council funds.
Yeah.
I mean, he also used council funds to buy livestock and bought his daughter some porcelain dolls. And then the company he bought this microscope off actually scammed him. Because he bought this microscope originally and he requested it to be made out of pure gold, but when it rocked up, it was brass.
All right, does your label say something else, Tegan?
Yeah, it absolutely does. This is, in fact, William Valentine's microscope, circa 1831, as a matter of fact, an even better year. He was a surgeon and a botanical enthusiast, and this was described as the finest microscope in the colony, and as you can see, it's a pretty fine microscope. Now, this is what's special about this. He was out walking one day and he discovered the bones of a dead bushranger. But that wasn't the only thing there. On top of the bones of the dead bushranger, there was some wombat poo. On top of the wombat poo, though, there was a moss, a new moss that Bill was able to identify. It was growing on that wombat poo. Must have stayed there for a while. As we know, wombat poo's square, it's not rolling.
You know a lot about poo, that rules.
That
She
moss
really knows her shit.
And that moss is called pink stink dung moss. And that is all completely true.
All right, Alan and Zoe, which label do you think is the correct one? Does this microscope belong to a dodgy mayor embezzling funds or a botanical man having fun?
I think it's a tall order to ask for a solid gold microscope. I mean, I like the sound of him. I want a microscope and I want a solid gold microscope. That's a lot of gold to make I mean, he might have asked for that, though. And it's not that he was going to get that. I can believe the embezzling municipal funds. I'm struggling with the poo, the moss on the poo, on the bones.
I'm struggling with the bushranger. Feels too interesting.
You're either a convict or a bushranger, you know, if you'd come over here on a boat. Isn't that kind of the thing?
Yeah, or you were embezzling municipal funds.
Yeah.
Municipal.
And asking for eccentric things because the power's gone to your head.
Yeah.
Solid gold microscopes, porcelain dolls.
Maybe his previous microscope was lead, which also went to his head.
Yes.
Yes, it could be. I'm leaning towards that one.
Well,
think
you're
it's
leaning
that one.
towards
Yeah.
Mayor Dunnell.
Municipal funds.
The municipal funds. Embezzlement of the municipal funds.
All right, well, what do you think, Zoe? What are you going to go with? Are you going to Tegan's story that it was William Valentine's microscope?
God, live life on the
was
wild
it
side.
the corrupt Mayor Dunnell's microscope?
I think it's the corrupt mayor.
All right, and what about you, Alan?
Wow, and then now I'm disinclined to agree. It's just my tendency. So even though I think it's Brett, I'm going to go this way.
Yes, I like the...
Go with the
Playing
wombat shit.
game. Well, let's find out. Let's put a label on it. There you go. It is William Valentine's microscope. Yes, he was a botanical enthusiast, Dr. William Valentine. Tegan's label was the right one, all the way down to pink stink dung moss, which is a real name for a type of moss that grows on animal poo. The dead bushranger was escaped convict John Fisher. He was a real shady character, but as we know, that's great for moss. How did they know he was a bushranger?
He was holding a sign that said, I am a bushranger.
He had 2 double-barreled guns and pistols by his side.
Wow.
So that was a bit of a giveaway. As for our disgraced mayor and his solid gold microscope, Hobart didn't have a mayor until 1853. So sad. All those ribbons, but nobody with the big scissors to cut them. Alan, 2 points for you, and Zoe, no points for you. Shall we see our next object? does your label say, Alan?
Well, this actually is a feather from a hat that was gifted to Queen Elizabeth II in 1984 during a visit to Tasmania. She loved it in Tasmania. And it was made from feathers of an albino peacock at Launceston's Cataract Gorge. And the gift made news because Prince Philip pulled a feather from the hat and pretended to sign the milliner's autograph book. And onlookers said that he remarked, "Lovely, an old bird for an old bird."
Zoe, what are we looking at here?
We are looking at a King Island emu feather. King Island emu was an emu. It was half the height of a regular emu and only found in Tassie. It was hunted to extinction by sealers who saw them as massive rotisserie chooks. The French explorers took two of these emus home as a gift to Napoleon's wife, Empress Josephine. And those two emus then outlived the rest of their species. So this feather is from one of the very last King Island emus.
Wow.
Oh, what a white, that was fantastic. Brett and Tegan, which label sounds like the right one to you? Is this the feather of the last King Island emu or a gift for the Queen?
I've seen emu feathers before. Like I accidentally hit one on a dirt bike and it was like...
Oh, yeah.
And it survived though, so it's fine. But they're a lot bigger, but it makes sense that it was an island one because sometimes like if you get like kangaroos and they go onto an island, they're always a little bit smaller, like they're the miniature version because of food and stuff and like maybe a shortage. I still feel like I'm gonna go with, I think, Zoe on this one. It looks more like an emu feather and smaller makes sense.
And what about you, Tegan?
I think I'm going to have to go with peacock feather.
I think it was a peacock feather too.
Oh, yeah. You're leaving me hanging
Oh,
there.
I sort of don't.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for having my back.
Let's put a label on it. Oh, boo! Yes, this is an emu feather.
I know.
From the last surviving King Island emu, it was owned by Napoleon's wife, Empress Josephine. Guess she really did love short kings. Empress Josephine kept this pair of emus in her garden before offloading them to a zoo. And so this is the only known feather of this subspecies in Australia. And the museum has brought it out especially for us, which is really exciting. It's normally considered too precious for display.
Wow.
So you could get DNA from it and make a tiny emu?
Oh, I wonder. I mean,
I've seen it in films.
They do try and do that, some other things. And as for the Queen being presented an albino peacock feather, royal watchers would know that Queen Elizabeth didn't tour Australia in 1984, but in 1988. So you can put your complaint pens down. We know.